All right, boys and girls, it is 3:47 p.m. EST, and it's time to do the thing that most traders will never do, which is sit here at this computer and track every single breakout that occurred in today's market. Why do we do this? Because whenever we trade, we don't want to gamble. If we want to gamble, we go to the casino. I got them down here in Puerto Rico. I can just sit down, play some blackjack, order me a drink, and have a great time. If I sit down here at the charts, I want to make sure I'm making the best decision in the moment for myself and for my family. Well, how can I do that? Rub my crystal ball and predict the future? Nope, I don't think so. That's probably what you've been doing, though. And to be honest with you, that's what I used to do as well. Now, what I do is I track every single setup that happens in the market today. That way, when I hit the buy button, when I hit the sell button, I know with 100% confidence I'm making the best decision based off the historical data. Why do we do that? Because we know we'll never be able to predict the future. So if that resonates with you guys, you're going to see my full tracking process in today's video. If you're a day trader with over $10,000 in your account, then you know having a good system can not only cost you 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, but it's costing you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars already. So if you've been trading the small cap market, you've tried a couple discords, tried a couple mentorships, nothing really worked out for you. You feel like most of it's basic information. Most of it is stuff you could have watched on YouTube, but most of the traders are trading based off intuition. You would like a more data-backed approach. You want to see all the data that I've tracked on all of these setups, guys. You can click that link down below to learn a little bit more about one-on-one training and see if that's a good fit for you. But if you watch this video all the way to the end, then trust me, you're going to get a very phenomenal idea of what it looks like to trade with me, because this is what I do with my students every single day. All right. So just so you know how this works, guys, down at the bottom left hand corner of this video, you're going to see a Google spreadsheet. This is what I use to track every single one of these setups. I keep it very simple. I manually input all of this every single morning. And then at the top, you'll be able to see the chart. So I track over 15 different variables. As I go through, I'll do my absolute best in this video to explain and break it all down. I don't know if I'll be able to fit it all in one video. This is going to be a longer video, just FYI. But do your best to get a paper and pen and take some notes and really get a good idea of what it looks like to go through and track a setup and all the variables that I track. And I'll show you some of the results that I've been able to get at the very end of this as well. All right. So let's start off with the very first ticker that I put on today's tracker, which is going to be IPST. This was a stock that started running in pre-market. You'll be able to see it on your screen here. First thing that I track is going to be the breakout level, which is $7.26. I already put that in. So typically what I like to do in the morning in pre-market while I'm not actively looking for trades, I'll go ahead and input most of this information. Now at 9 a.m., that's a hard stop for me. I'm not going to be tracking any more information after 9 a.m. all the way till 12. All I'm simply going to do is when a ticker sets a breakout level, I'm going to come down here and put these tickers. So all these tickers down here at the bottom here, you'll see that I put them in here. I don't have any breakout levels or anything. And the reason why is because they set their levels after 9 a.m. from 9 a.m. till 12. And that's when I'm actively looking for trades. So I don't have time to input all the information here. All of these stocks that you see have a breakout level. These were stocks that actually made a breakout level in pre-market. So the time the stock broke out is going to be 8:15. If you guys have not checked out my video on how to set breakout levels, I have multiple videos on this channel. I'll put a link at the end here. Just browse through my channel. You'll be able to easily find them. And let's be real here. If you don't get really good at setting breakout levels using my system, then all of the data that I'm telling you about on this channel is not going to be relevant to you. If you mess up the level, you're going to completely take a different trade than me. And most of my one-on-one students that come to me, just so you know, the reason why they do is because they're not 100% confident they're setting the same exact levels, and they want to make sure they're setting the same exact levels and they're playing the same exact trades, because if we have two different levels, you can be playing two different stocks. So I'm not going to go in depth on how I set breakout levels. Go check out that video if you haven't checked it out already. Next thing right here is the 5-minute candle close. So just so you understand the way this works, after we set a breakout level, the trigger for me to actually start tracking this and all of the information here is going to be this 5-minute candle close above the level right here. And this was at 8:15 a.m. in pre-market. Now, way back when I first started, my thought process was generic advice that you see on YouTube. You have a level of resistance, 5-minute candle breaks above it. You would think that buyers are in control now, and there's going to be a move to the upside. And if you believe that, I got an oceanfront property in Idaho that I want to sell you, because that's simply not true. After tracking over 4,000 plus of these breakouts, that is not a profitable strategy at all. And your win rate is going to be somewhere around 45 to 46% according to market cap and free floats that you're playing, which obviously is not profitable. And I'm sure you want a higher win rate than that. There's multiple other things that you need to be looking at, including time frame, market cap, free flow, and also you need to be zooming into the 1-minute time frame and seeing what those 1-minute candles are doing while we're confirming breakout. Now, the reason why I didn't take this breakout is because it did happen before 9 a.m. Just FYI, I'll be giving you pro tips along the way here throughout this entire video. If you want to write this down in your notes, my trading window is from 9 a.m. all the way till 12 p.m. There have been months where pre-market has been crushing it, and it has had a positive win rate and a positive expectancy. But what I found over the past 15 months is pre-market has been a lot more inconsistent, but the time frame that has been the most consistent is from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. So it's not like I'm in love with that time of the day. I would actually prefer to trade in pre-market, but currently right now, all of the setups that I track, they're not as consistent in pre-market. Now I got a couple more setups that I'm currently tracking right now that I think are going to be great, but currently right now, all of the breakouts that happen in pre-market are very inconsistent. Most of the time it's a coin flip. So for the 5-minute candle close here, I always track that because way back in the day, that used to be my entry. I used to try and enter right as soon as the 5-minute candle close. The way I do that, guys, over here in the top left-hand corner, you'll see where it says OHLC. What that stands for is open, high, low, close. All you got to do is come over here and put your mouse on any of these candles, and you'll be able to see the open, high, low, and close on every single one of these candles. So I'm going to put it right here over 815. And what I'm looking for is the C. That C stands for close, and it's $7.36. So I already input that on my tracker over here. Now, the generic stop loss that I use for this when I first started tracking the data, because whenever you start tracking any type of setup, you have to have a really good idea of what type of stop loss you're going to be using. I started off with 15, but if I could go back in time, I actually would have increased that a little bit by 20%. And the reason being is because what I found is sometimes in the small cap market with the volatility is that there's a couple setups that I have where I use a 20% stop loss, and it's actually way more profitable to use a 20% stop loss versus a 15. So I probably would have made that a lot lower. So what I'll do at this point when I got the entry is I'll get a really good idea of, I'll measure out where 15% stop loss would be. And let's say, for example, the 15% stop loss was down here. Then I'll say, okay, if the 15% stop loss was down here, what was the max price that this stock reached while I was in the trade if I entered right here at the close of this 815 candle? So why don't we just go ahead and do that? So right here where it says max price reached, I could easily put $9.66. But the first thing that I want to check is how deep is this pullback right here? So right here, I have max pullback price while in trade, and that's going to be right here at 1020. And the low of that candle up here in the top left-hand corner, you'll see the low of that candle is going to be $6.47. So if I type in 647, I have a formula in the cell right beside it, which tells me the max drawdown percentage while in trade. So right here at the low of this candle right here, you would have been down 12% in that position. And an easy way for you to double check that is to just go up there to your rectangle, put it at the close of this candle right here, draw it all the way down right here, and you can see it's 12.09%. That's the exact amount. That's exactly what I like to see. I put formulas inside this Google spreadsheet just to make it a lot easier for me. So right here, we would have answered this trade. Quick little pop here, pulled back, quick little pop again, pulled back, quick little pop again at market open. Deep pullback here. We're down 12% in the position, but if we were still in, we would have got rewarded with this move all the way up to 966. So the max price that you could have sold this stock for a profit right here is $9.66. And I want to put that in there. And the reason why that is so important is because this is going to tell me the max profit that I could have gotten while in this trade. And the reason why that's important is because when I go into my dashboard, I'm able to compare where the best take profit is for all these strategies. So sometimes a lot of my one-on-one students, they'll get in a stock and they'll buy it and they'll get up, but they never know when to sell. They end up holding way too long and the stock ends up taking a poop, or they just do something crazy. They never know when to sell. I always know when to sell because I track the max percentage gain that I can get in every trade, and then I compare those best take profits. So I'm able to easily track that. Next thing that I'm tracking right here is, was the second 5-minute candle green or not? So this second 5-minute candle was green. I'm not going to put yes in there right now because what that'll do is it'll trigger an automation where it takes that entire row and puts it into another sheet, because that is a trigger for another strategy where we enter on the second 5-minute candle closing green. So I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to leave that blank. It's something that I typically go in and do after. I got the previous close right here. So the previous close, for all of you newer traders, and if you're tracking breakout levels, this is very important. The previous close is always going to be at 4 p.m. EST from the prior day. So the way I do that is I just type in the previous close. You'll see that the close of that candle for IPST was $2.20 right here, which means at this level up here that we had of 726, the stock was up 230% for the day. So it was already on a massive run way before it even set a breakout level. Now, the reason why I tracked that is because I wanted to know, is there a direct correlation to win rate if the stock has a breakout level at 20% compared to 40, compared to 60, compared to 100, compared to 200? Right now, there isn't a massive direct correlation to that. However, when it comes to getting into stocks before breakout, which is what I'm currently working on right now with my one-on-one students, is getting us in before the breakout, I think that information is going to come in handy for me. Next up is going to be market cap and free float. I already have the market cap and free float listed out for this one. The way I do this is just put them into categories. I have below 1 million, I have 1 to 10, 10 to 50, and I used to track breakouts for stocks that had over 50, from 50 to 200, so on and so forth. But what I found after tracking over, I think like 2,000 plus breakouts is when I stopped doing it, is that it's just not worth it. If the market cap is over 50%, I mean over 50 million, your win rate just drops drastically. It wasn't worth it for me to continue to track those, so I don't even track them anymore. If it's over 50 million, I just don't track it. All right. The way you find that easily, guys, go over to your quotes widget over here. You'll be able to see the market cap right now is at 5.2 million, and then the free float right here is at 699,000. So right here for IPSC, I got market cap 1 to 10, and then free float below 1 million. Now, something very important for you guys to know is that if you're trying to take a look at this in pre-market, which more than likely you guys are looking at this in pre-market, know that market cap does not update in pre-market. So whatever market cap that you see in pre-market, you need to take that and increase it by the percentage the stock is up. So, for example, if this stock closed at 732 and then it was up over 200% for the day and the market cap said 5 million, I also need to increase that market cap by 200%. I don't know why Webull doesn't update in the pre-market. I wish they did. It makes it a little bit harder. You got to do a little bit of calculation. But if you see that the stock closed over here and the market cap was 5 million and then it ran 100%, that market cap is now 10 million and probably slightly above 10 million. So you got to do a little bit of math here. ChatGPT can help you out with that. I still use ChatGPT to this every day. What I'll do is say, hey, chat, this stock closed at $2.20. The breakout level is all the way up here at $7.36. The market cap at the close was 5.3 million. What's the new market cap at this higher level? And it'll spit it out for me, okay? Now, from there, we have the dip percentage before the breakout. I put 42%. So what that means is I track this from the top of the wick right here all the way down to here. And this comes in handy for this strategy that I'm currently making to how I can get into these stocks before the breakout. I want to get a really good idea of how much these stocks are pulling back before breakout, because I want to get a really good idea of where I can start getting into these stocks before the stock actually breaks out. So that's something I'm currently tracking. And then also the dollar volume on the breakout. For me, I have a custom indicator that I created. I give this to all my one-on-one students. The dollar volume on this breakout was over 27.8 million. So for all of you that are trading with over a $10,000 account, a lot of times small caps can get a very bad name because they have quote unquote lower liquidity. If you're trading the right stocks, then these stocks have a ton of liquidity. If you're trading with a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 position, it doesn't really matter. This 5-minute candle had over $27 million flowing through it roughly. It's not exact, but it's going to give me a really good rough estimate. If it says 27 million, maybe the real number is 25, 26. Either way, it's going to be very, very close to what it actually was. Next up right here, we have the country the stock is from. This actually does have a massive direct correlation to win rate as well. What I found is any stock outside of the United States, China, and Canada, the win rate drops. So that's something that you're going to want to look for. You can easily see that on any stock by adding the profile widget over here on Webull. So just go up here to profile. You'll be able to see the address of the company, and I can see that this stock right here is from the United States. That matters because if it's from the United States or China, like two of my favorite setups, I can go for a 15% take profit. However, if it's from anywhere outside of the United States, China, or Canada, I actually have to go for a 10% take profit because those stocks don't get as much continuation from backtesting the data. And then there's certain setups where like stocks from other countries, like they don't even work. You can't even take those trades because they don't work. So you definitely need to be watching out for that, guys. There's a lot of companies out there that just pump and dump from random countries like Malaysia, Israel. That's multiple countries that I've seen where, there's just a bunch of stocks that pump and dump from that area. Don't ask me why, but it's something that I've seen and it's something that I've tracked. Now, if I go over here to the right, a couple other things that I'll put in here is, did it ever break out? I'll either put broke out or no breakout. I already put breakout for this one. A couple other things that I'm tracking right now, it's time the level was set. So the way that works is whatever 5-minute candle allowed me to establish a breakout level, I'll put that time as the time the level was set. So this 5-minute candle right here that allowed me to set that level, it pulled back at 4:30 a.m. So I put 4:30. And then from there, I tracked the time the stock bottomed out. So the time the stock bottomed out was right here at 6:55. So I want to not only track the time the level was set, I want to track what time it bottomed out so I can get a really good idea of how long it takes for these stocks to pull back. And then also, of course, I track the time the stock broke out as well. So that's all information that I track. So now that you've got all the different variables explained, let's actually jump into another example here. So let's go down to the second stock, which is TRUG. So TRUG, let's go ahead and pull that up. And then I'm just going to start going through these really quick. So the first thing that I look at is, did it even break out? For TRUG, I have the breakout level up here at 181. As you can see, it didn't even break out. So what I'm going to do is scroll over here to the right, and I'm going to put no breakout. And that's important because if I'm trying to get into these stocks before they break out, the whole point of that is that I want to be entering down here, and then I want to be selling after the stock confirms breakout. Well, if these stocks are not going to break out, then that's not going to be a profitable strategy. In order for me to calculate win rate, I need to know out of the ones that do pull back, how many go break out, because the ones that don't break out could potentially be losers for me. So that's something that I've started tracking pretty heavily here as recent. All right, so now let's move on down to the next one, which is going to be SLE. If you guys are getting value from this, you want me to continue to post videos like this, please comment down below and let me know. I really appreciate all the support. And again, if you trade with over 10K, would love to have you as a one-on-one student. SLE, breakout level was right here at 415. As you can see, we pull back. We just chop sideways for the rest of the day. This was a no breakout. So I'm going to highlight that row. I'm going to move over here to the right. I'm going to put no breakout. I've already put in all the other information for that stock. MYSZ is going to be up next. MYSZ, type that in. You can see that this level was set in after hours yesterday. And from all of the information that I've collected thus far, and another reason why I track what time the level was set, from what I found, only around 45% of the stocks thus far, and I've been tracking this for almost 3 weeks now, the stocks that set their level in after hours, only about 45% of those actually go and break out. So that's something you guys can start looking for many of you traders that are not necessarily trading my system by the book. Some of you are probably trying to get in before breakout. If you see any stock that set their high in after hours thus far, from the limited sample size that I've tracked about 130 of those, only about 45% of those have actually gone and break out. So if you're thinking about trying to ride a stock back up, go see what time the level was set. If that level was set in after hours from the previous day, you might want to think twice before you enter that stock on a pullback. So for MYSE, never broke out. I'm going to scroll over here to the right. We'll put no breakout right here. Let's scroll back over here to the left. We're going to go over to XPON. XPON is the next ticker. XPON, we had that level right here at 528. As you can see, we pull back. We just continue to chop sideways. Again, this is another no breakout. And as you can see, it's the stocks in after hours and very early in the morning, pre 6 a.m. from what I found, have the lowest percentage of ones that go and set a breakout level versus the ones that actually go and break out. Not many of them, and it's all below 50%. So I'm going to put no breakout on that one right there. Now, as you can see, I can easily tell the difference between the stocks that are breaking out and between the stocks that are not. If the stock has not broken out, then it's going to highlight that entire row red. Next ticker is going to be WETO. Now, I know this stock went and broke out because this one was almost a perfect breakout, and it made a hell of a move to the upside. So right here, we have the breakout level at 1119. I had that set already right here. And then right here at 940, the stock broke out. So I'm going to go ahead and enter that information, 940. The 5-minute candle close. Now, this is very important. You guys want to pay attention. Get your paper and your pen out right here. A lot of times, and this is where you can get sloppy with your tracking. And after tracking over 4,000 plus breakouts, I found many mistakes that I did in very early on in the game, and I've been able to correct those. But one that I caught very early on is on stocks like this, you would think that you would just go off the close of this candle. But the problem with that is that you can't. I wouldn't have been able to enter at the close of this candle. You know why? Because this stock got halted to the upside. So before this candle could fully close, it got halted. And whenever a stock is halted, you're not able to buy the stock. It's halted. Nobody can buy it. Nobody can sell it. So I don't count that as the 5-minute candle close. And the reason why is because it wouldn't be realistic, because that's not where I enter. I waited for that candle to close, and before it could fully close, it got halted. Now, I think my camera just went out, by the way. I'm going to continue this video, so I think you should still be able to hear me. So instead, what I do is I go off of the open of the next candle, because that's the earliest you would have been able to get in. So the true 5-minute candle close right here, quote unquote, is going to be the open of this candle. And the open of this candle was $13.14. And I actually just released a video. The title of it, WETO, was almost the perfect breakout. And the reason why it was almost the perfect breakout is because the 1-minute candles were aligning green as this stock was breaking out. The only problem is that your entry was up here, and that was more than 15% above the breakout level. And from tracking over 4,000 plus breakouts, I found that drastically lowers win rate. It gets you much closer to around a 50% win rate, which is a coin flip, which is something I would prefer not to take. So I ended up skipping out on that one today. WETO, if you did enter at $13.14, then the max drawdown in this trade would have been the low of this candle right here. The low of this candle was $12, so I'm going to input that. That means you would have been in about 8.6% of drawdown. With a 15% of stop loss, you would have been just fine. And if you just continue to hold this stock all day going into after hours, now I don't count any of the after hours price action, because for me, you can't use a stop loss and take profit in after hours. So instead of counting that, I just cut it off right here at market close. So the high before market close was $29.50. I'll go ahead and put that in as well. Now you can see the max percentage from the 5-minute candle close was 124%. So if you would have played this one perfectly, answered right here, all the way up to here, you could have got 124%. Next 5-minute candle was green. I'm going to wait to input that. I already got the previous close. I already got the market cap. I already got the free float. Now, next thing I want to put is the dip percentage before the breakout. So if we zoom in right here, what I want to track is the high from where the breakout level was set, all the way from the top wick, all the way to the low right here. So I'm going to start a rectangle right here. I'm going to go ahead and drag that down, and I can see that's 23.99%. I always round up. So if it's 23.5, I'll put 24% on there. Volume on the breakout, if I put my mouse over this candle right here, volume on that breakout was roughly 2.08 million. So a little over 2 million. I already got the country right here for the USA. So now I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to scroll over here. And then from here, I'm going to put in breakout. And then I already got the time the level was set. The level was set at 5:45 p.m. So this is one of those stocks that set their levels in after hours, ended up breaking out. Like I said, it's going to be around 45, 46% of those stocks that actually do go and break out. It's just a coin flip at that point. So if I'm trying to get in pre-breakout, I wouldn't want to take that, because it's just a coin flip if it's actually going to go break out or not. I want a much higher percentage than that. Time the stock bottomed out is something that I do want to track. So if I zoom in here, I'll be able to see the low. And an easy way to do this is to actually just zoom in on your chart. And this is where the level was set. And then right here, wherever the low was, it'll actually put the price of it on the chart. So the low right here was $8.62. All I got to do is put my mouse over that candle. You can see it bottomed out at 5:05 a.m. So I'm going to type that in there. And then boom, that's all I got to do. Now I got to move on to the next. Now, later on, there's a couple other things that I track, like was the second 5-minute candle green? I go in and put in that information. And then two other things that I track is, was the 1-minute candle trending green into breakout? And did the next 1-minute candle close green after breakout? And that has a massive direct correlation to win rate. More than market cap, more than free flow, more than anything. But I like to continue to do everything on the 5-minute time frame. And then I typically bounce back over to the 1-minute time frame and input the rest of that information. Next up is going to be SKYE. So let's go ahead and put that one in, SKYE. Breakout level was up here at 0.7273. You see it pulled back. That thing just ended up taking a massive poop. So for me, all I got to do is scroll over. We're going to put no breakout on that one. It didn't even get close. It didn't even sniff a breakout. And we're going to scroll back over to the left. Next stock on the list is going to be NWTG. So let's type in NWTG here. Breakout level was established right here at $1.56. This was a lower volume breakout level that was established. I was actually hoping this one wouldn't go breakout. Unfortunately for me, it didn't. I don't enjoy taking the lower volume breakouts that happen. I always enjoy trading the higher volume. Just so you guys know, when a 5-minute candle does confirm breakout, if it has less than $50,000 in volume on that 5-minute candle, I don't even track it as a breakout. Because realistically, that's not enough volume for me to go in with any type of substantial position. And most of the time, those stocks are just very choppy, like barcoded out just like this. So fortunately, NWTG did not go and do a low volume breakout. So all I got to do is highlight that bad boy. We're going to scroll over, and we're going to put no breakout. Now, as you can see today, there was a lot of stocks that set breakout levels, but they never went and broke out. Next up on the list is going to be FAMI. So FAMI, we're going to pull that up. That breakout level was established right here at 4:20 a.m. at 0.1580. I already got that set. And then as you can see, it just never broke out. Easy peasy. All I got to do is come over here and put no breakout. Now, as you can see, guys, this takes me time every single day. This probably takes me, I'm making a video on it right now, so it's going to take me a little bit longer. But this takes me close to, according to how many breakouts that we have, somewhere around 45 minutes to an hour. But I will say, if you're not tracking your setup, guys, I really don't know how you are trading, because I've learned so much about these setups over the past 15 months. I probably learned more in the past 15 months than I have in the prior 5 years by tracking my setup. And if you're not doing it already, highly recommend you do it. And if you don't want to put the time in, you can just come trade live with me, and I'll show you all of the data that I track, because I'm not going to be stopping anytime soon. Next ticker on the list is going to be EHGO. Let's pull that up. That was a little bit wonky as well. $210,000 on that 5-minute candle that set the breakout level at 405. So that thing gapped all the way up to 210, ended up pulling back. Breakout level was at 208. As you can see, again, didn't even sniff a breakout on that one. So we'll go ahead and put no breakout here. All right, we're going to move on down to the next one, NTCL. NTCL. Same thing with this one. 5-minute candle right here at 5:55 a.m. $250,000 in volume. Pretty substantial volume on that 5-minute candle that early in the morning. I set the level at 313. Didn't even get close to a breakout. Going to highlight that whole entire row right there. Scroll over. Put no breakout. Now next up is going to be ticker UCL. So let's go ahead and pull that bad boy up. UCL. And UCL was a breakout that happened early in pre-market at 8:10 a.m. Ended up dying out for the rest of the day. So the breakout level on that was 191. I already have the time the stock broke out at 8:10. Already got the 5-minute candle close right here at 1.271. So the question is, if you entered right here, this 5-minute candle close, what's the highest point you could have reached while in this trade? And the high was right here at $1.28. So I'm going to put in $1.28. As you can see, the max percentage gain you could have got on that trade was 0.7%. You couldn't even call it a percent on that bad boy. And again, it's one of the big reasons why I don't trade breakouts in pre-market currently, because they've been so inconsistent. And you do get a lot of this where stocks will just pump and dump and they won't get the continuation that you're looking for. Now, when a stock only pops a 0.5% like that, or anything less than 5%, I'm not even worried about max pullback price while in trade. I'm just going to keep it at 100 right there. That's automatically going to put it down as a loser, as a 15% stop loss when I connect it to my dashboard. So I can just, one thing I do want to do is scroll over to the right and make sure we got that listed as a breakout. Yep, time the level was set, was right here at 750. That's correct. Time the stock bottomed out was on the next 5-minute candle right here, bottomed out at 755. All right, so now we're going to move over to the next one. Next ticker is going to be YYAI. YYAI. And right here, I don't have a breakout. I didn't set the breakout level on my tracker here, but the breakout level was right here at 9:15 is when it set it. And as you can see, my trading window is from 9 a.m. till 12. So as soon as these stocks start making levels after 9 a.m., I'm just putting the ticker information in and coming back and inputting all this information. So the level was at 161, so I'm going to type that in. Time the stock broke out? Well, it didn't break out. So all I got to do is skip all of this information because it never went and broke out. I do want to go ahead and put in the previous close here. The previous close at 4 p.m. was $1.13. That means at the level, the stock was up 42%. Market cap on this bad boy, it says $2,000. Me and you put together $3,000. We can buy this stock. This is, wow, that's kind of crazy. This stock is from the United States. So for this one, I mean, that market cap is clearly wrong, but I will go ahead and put below 1 million. And then free float, it says 40,000. I'm sure it's more than that, but I'm sure it's probably below 1 million. So I'll put below 1 million for both of those. And then the dip before the breakout, it never broke out. Dollar volume on breakout. We keep that empty because it didn't break out. Country the stock is from, I just checked that, US of A. Now we want to scroll over here to the right, and we want to put no breakout right here. And then time the level was set was right here at 9:15 a.m. Inputting all of this information. Now, this is all of the raw data that you're seeing. What I do is actually connect this to the dashboard. Now, you can go through in the day of AI, ChatGPT, Claude, and they can build you some really cool dashboards. I ended up hooking it up to something called Data Studio, and I keep it very simple. It just allows me to filter through everything, and it's worked very well for me. Later on, I'll probably make some flashy dashboard with AI, with Chat or Claude. But for now, I mean, it just works. And if it ain't broken, I believe in not fixing it. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Next up is going to be PFSA. So let's go ahead and pull that up, PFSA. And this stock did break out. So the level on this one was all the way down here. This was a legit level. So the first thing that you want to check is to make sure that whatever the breakout level is, it's up 17% or more from the previous close. So I'll just take a rectangle from the previous close, measure that up. That level's at 20.9%. So that is a legit level. I'm going to zoom in here and see the exact level here is 4.352. 4.352. Time the stock broke out, we're going to find the 5-minute candle that broke above that level, which is going to be right here at 9:35. So we'll put in 9:35 right here. 5-minute candle close. Now, one thing to notice is that this candle right here, the first thing I want to check is the volume. The dollar volume you'll be able to see down here in the bottom left-hand corner. I'll just go ahead and circle this right here. And when I put my mouse over the candle, you'll see that that says $69,000. So that stock just barely had enough volume on that 5-minute candle for me to track it as an actual breakout. Now, the other thing that I noticed about this candle right here is that it doesn't have a top wick. which a lot of times if stocks get halted to the upside, they won't have a top wick. An easy way to check and see if a stock got halted is by taking a look and seeing if there is any discrepancy here between 5-minute candles. So this is 935. So the next candle should be 940. The next candle is 940. And a lot of times I'll just go ahead and zoom into the 1-minute time frame just to double confirm here. So if I go to the 1-minute time frame and I go to that exact time, 935, 936, I can see that next 9:36 a.m. candle did open and it closes as well. So I could have answered at that 9:35 candle close. Let's zoom back into the 5-minute time frame here. So the actual close on that 5-minute candle was 4.685. We'll type in 4.685. And then the max price that it could have reached while in the trade is $6.77. This one made a nice move to the upside. The max drawdown in that trade to the low was right here at 4.272. So we're going to type that in, 4.272. Let's see how much drawdown we would have been. It would have been around 8% of drawdown. The second 5-minute candle did not close green, so I'm going to go ahead and put no for that. Let's go ahead and find the previous close here. So the previous close is going to be the close of the 4 p.m. candle. 4 p.m. is represented by 1600 down here at the bottom. You'll see it, 1600. And that close is going to be right there at $4 or $3.59. So 3.599. So that's one way to do it. You can just put your mouse over the 4 p.m. candle, which in military time is 1600, or you can just come over here, take a look at the widgets right here, the quotes widget, and you'll be able to see that the previous close says $3.59. That's another easy way to look at it. Market cap for this bad boy was below 10 million, so between 1 to 10. Free float was below 1 million, extremely low. Market cap 1 to 10, free float below 1 million. Dip percentage before the breakout. So we're going to come right here, and then we're going to pull this down. We'll see it was 15.8%. I'll type in 16%. Dollar volume on the breakout was 69,000. So I'm going to type in 0.069 because it's the way I have to do it. It just makes it easy. Just trust me. It's an easy way for me to input it into Google Sheets. Profile, I'm going to go in and put United States. And then from there, we're going to scroll over. We're going to find, did it ever break out? Yes, it did. So I'm going to put broke out. Time to level was set. Time to level was set was when this 5-minute candle made its pull down here, its drawdown. And the big thing here is on these lower volume plays like this, you will see that there will be a gap between where the 5-minute candle closed and the red candle opened. I always take the higher of the two. In this scenario, the 5-minute candle close is higher than the next open of the red candle. So I'll take the level set by the 5-minute candle close. Sometimes it's the opposite, where the red candle will open a little bit higher. It's whichever one is higher, that's the level that you want to set. If you're using my system and using this, if you want to use the same levels as me. Time the level was set, 9:15. Already got that. Time the stock bottomed out at 9:15. So it bottomed out at the exact same time. Boom. And now we're just going to move on to the next one. Next ticker is going to be right here, STFS. Boom. So for STFS, breakout level was right up here at $6.28. So we'll put in $6.28, 6.28. And then time the stock broke out and never broke out. It made this massive move to the upside. We wicked above it right here on this 5-minute candle, but no 5-minute candle closed above it. We actually wicked above it multiple times. We wicked above it here 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. It can never close above that level. Ended up taking a massive poop. So we'll put in 628 as the breakout level. Then from there, all I got to do is scroll over. I'll put in the previous close. The previous close was $3.90. The market cap on it is 5 million, so it's between 1 to 10. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is the market cap reflects the current price of $4.21. At the breakout level is $6.28. So that means while it was up here at the breakout level, that's about a 50% increase. I'm just doing the math off the top of my head. So I need to increase that market cap by about 50%, which means the market cap at this breakout level was around 7 million. Now, I can do the math in my head because I've been doing this for a long time, but if you ever have any questions, you can always just go to ChatGPT. ChatGPT will tell you. You'll basically say, hey, chat, I always use the voice option. Chat, the market cap at $4.21 is currently 5 million. If the stock goes up to $6.28, what's the market cap? And chat will do the math for you. It'll spit it out to you, make it super easy for you. So market cap 1 to 10, free float 1 to 10 as well. Dip percentage before the breakout, we leave all that blank because it didn't break out. The stock was from China, so we're going to put that in as well. And then from there, we're going to scroll over to the right hand side. STFS, no breakout, and then time the level was set. The level was set right here at 9:50 a.m. Guys, comment down below and let me know if this is valuable to you. I had a call earlier with somebody who was interested in one-on-one, And they had a lot of questions about like how I track the breakouts and stuff like this. So hopefully this gives you guys a little bit more clarity. And you guys can see the amount of work that this actually takes to go through and do this every single day. And this is honestly speaking why most people don't do this, because it does require 45 minutes to an hour of your time every single day. I'm already at 34 minutes into this video and I'm still tracking this. So again, I believe 100,000% that it's worth it, and you should be doing it, because if you're not doing it, you're gambling. But there's a reason why most people don't do it, and because it does take a lot of time. So WOK breakout level is 2.647. Time the stock broke out, 5-minute candle closed above it right here at 950. This is the stock that I traded today. 5-minute candle closed right there at 2.653. And then the max price reach was $3.18, which was representative of a 19% gain. Very nice move on that. And then the low was we just barely wicked down just a little bit right here. So the low on this candle was $2.65. I mean, this stock was picture perfect on this breakout right here. We didn't enter at the 950 candle close. We entered at the 951. One of the things that I look for is 1 minute time frame if it's lining up. So typically, if the first 1 minute candle or the last 1 minute candle of this 5-minute candle closes green, and then the next one also closes green, I answer at the close of the next one, which is 951. And that's exactly what happened. We were able to ride this up for a quick 15%. Now, what I ended up doing up on WOK is another setup that I take, and something else that I track is if I can enter another position at the next 5-minute candle close. And that win rate is actually even higher. That one typically works out 70% of the time. So I entered into another position right here on this bad boy, 20% stop loss, 15% take profit. We get a massive dump on this next 5-minute candle, no continuation whatsoever. Now, with that being said, I've had many of stocks do exactly that and then bounce back and go hit take profit, because in the small cap world, you're going to get that volatility. This one never does, though. This one just continues to die out. I ended up getting kicked out right here at around 140, hit a full stop loss. So I went 1 for 2 today. My loser was a little bit bigger than my winner. So I had a small red day today overall. First trade was beautiful. Second trade, not so much. But it was the right setup to take. I'm happy with the setup that I took. Every single day, if I took the right setups, I can be very happy. If I miss setups, that's typically what pisses me off. The previous close is going to be $2.22, 2.22. Market cap on this one is between 1 to 10. Free float is also between 1 to 10, 1 to 10, 1 to 10. And then the dip percentage before the breakout. So this is the candle right here that set the breakout level. I'm going to go from the top. Ended up bottoming out on the same exact candle. So 11.2%. I'm going to type in 11. The dollar volume on the breakout was 133,000. So 0.133. And then the country, China. The stock was from China. The Chinese guys took a poop on me today on that second trade. I'm going to scroll over here. I'm going to put broke out. Time the level was set was right here at 9:45 a.m. EST. All right. Time the stock bottomed out was at the exact same time. It bottomed out at 9:45. So we're going to go ahead and put that in as well. And perfect. Now we move on to the next ticker, which is CDTG. CDTG breakout level was up here at $3.18. So we're going to go ahead and put that. So as you can see here, we make this move to the upside. First red candle on the 5-minute time frame that allows me to establish that breakout level. Ended up bringing it out on the next 5-minute candle at 10:05. So let's go ahead and put that in, 10:05. 5-minute candle closed at 3.255. So we're going to put that in. And then if you entered right here at the candle close right here, what's the max percentage gain that you could have got while in this trade? Well, you wouldn't have got much. The high on this next candle was $2.84 before it ended up pulling back. Or excuse me, that was a close. The high was $3.30. So we'll put in 330. You could have got 1.3%. I'm not even going to bother with the drawdown on that one, because obviously it was a loser. Next 5-minute candle did not close green. It closed red. So I'm going to go ahead and put no right there. Previous close is $2.09, 2.09. So I can see that breakout level at 318, it was up 52% from the previous day. Market cap is 8.4 million. That's the current market cap at the current price of or $2.80. $3.18 is a little bit higher, maybe about 10 to 15%. Not enough to put it over 10 million. So market cap is 1 to 10. Free float is also between 1 to 10 as well. The dip percentage before the breakout. This is the candle that established breakout level. So we need to go from the high right here, bottomed out on the same exact candle. That was representative of a 22% pullback. Dollar volume on the breakout was 1.75 million, 1.75. This stock was from China as well. Going to highlight this bad boy and scroll this row right on over. We're going to put broke out on it. Time the level was set is going to be right here on this 5-minute candle at 10 a.m. And then time the stock bottomed out is also 10 a.m. as well. And that is something that I found. And again, I'm working on a strategy currently right now, ironing out the final details for how I want to enter these stocks before breakout. But what I'm noticing is most of these stocks that go on breakout, they set their breakout levels at very specific times. And then most of them are going to break out within 20 minutes of establishing that level. So for example, on CDTG, we established this level right here, and then we break out on the next candle. And most of these stocks that are actually going to break out, they pull back, but then they go and break out within 20 minutes. And most of the stocks that take longer than 20 minutes, most of those actually never go to breakout. So that's something that I'm looking at that's going to help me really define exactly where and how I want to enter before the breakout. Next stock on the watch list is WFF. That breakout level was $5.59. Time the stock broke out is going to be 11:30 right here. So I'm going to speed up a little bit and get through this process with you. Close is $5.96. Max price reach. This is where you really got to get in and you got to measure and say, okay, on this pullback, how deep of a pullback? That was a 25% pullback. So if you entered right here on this breakout, that's why I made the stock earlier and said WFF was an obvious fake out because the 1 minute candles at the end of this 5-minute candle were lined up red and red. So right here, the close of this 5-minute candle, the first candle was red. The next 1 minute candle opens up. It was also red. The worst possible thing that you want to see on a breakout. And that's exactly what causes fake out. Pulled back 25%. I mean, if you got into that stock with any type of a respectable stop loss of 15 to 20%, you were going to get kicked out on that bad boy right before the big pop. So the max price reach is actually not that $10.71. If you would have entered here, the max price that you would have reached was this small little move on this 5-minute candle. The high on that was $6.03. So I'm going to put that in. And then you can see that's only a 1% move. So that's no bueno. The second 5-minute candle did not close green. So I'm going to put no. Previous close was $1.44. Market cap is 10 to 50. Free float is 1 to 10. Dip before the breakout. So we're going to measure from here to here. And that was a 24.6% move. I'll put 25. Dollar volume on the breakout is 29.25 minutes. A lot of volume on this bad boy today. Country the stock is from Malaysia. And it's one of those countries that I see a lot of times. You get hit with a lot of pumping ups from that country. And that's exactly, if you take a look at it today, I mean, look, massive move to the upside, right? So we get the big move, pull back, bigger move after it would have kicked most people out right here. And then after that, just... Guys, if you're out there swing trading stocks, I highly recommend you take a look at where the stock is actually from. And if you're holding swing trading stocks that are outside of the United States, I mean, even China is very dangerous because those stocks move very volatile. I would stick to only stocks from the United States. Honestly, I wouldn't be swing trading small cap stocks. I did it my very first year of trading. I was very successful with it, but there's a lot of danger in that. You can't really set your stop loss. These stocks can dilute at any time. Most of them do. It's a dangerous game that you're playing there. So just be very careful. Next up, WFF. I did go and break out. Yes, time to level was set. It's going to be right here at 11:25. So let's put that in. Time the stock bottomed out. It bottomed out at the exact same time before breakout at 11:25. We're going to put that in. Perfect. Okay, let's move on down to the next one, which is going to be OSRH. At OSRH, if we take a look, breakout level was established all the way down here at 0.3796. So I'm going to type that in. I'm going to jump over to the previous close here and type in the previous close of 0.316. And I just want to make sure that is a legit level, more than 17% above the previous close. And yep, that level is 20% above the previous close. Time the stock broke out, if we zoom in here, this 5-minute candle closed at 10:05. The dollar volume on it was 83,000. So that is a legit breakout. So we'll put 10:05 right here. 5-minute candle closed at 0.3817. Max price that the stock reached. This one ended up making a really good move all the way up to 80 cents up there. So over 100% move, 109% move. Now, if you zoomed into the 1 minute time frame, this was not a perfect breakout by any means. And the next 5-minute candle closed red, which is also typically a bad sign, and that's going to lower your win rate. This one defied the odds, ended up bouncing back, but those are coin flips that I'm okay with skipping out on. The low right here was a 0.3745. 1.3745. You would have been in 1.8% of drawdown. Next 5-minute candle did not close green. And the market cap is between 10 to 50. Free float is also between 10 to 50 as well. the dip before the breakout. So this was the highest point that we reached. This was the lowest point that we reached pre-breakout. So I'm going to go ahead and measure that distance right here, 32.5%. I'm going to put in 33%. Dollar volume on the breakout was 0.083. So 83,000. Country, stock is from the United States. Boom. Highlight the row. Scroll over to the right-hand side. And we're going to put, yes, it did break out. Time the level was set. The level was established right here early in pre-market at 4:05 a.m. So as soon as the market opened, time the stock bottomed out is going to be right here at 5:40. So 5:40 a.m. Okay, perfect. Let's move down to the next couple. We got HAO. So HAO right here, breakout level. Boom, boom, boom. So I put that stock on the watch list, but I actually didn't set a level on it. I must have wanted to come back. Typically, I'll do that. If I'm not 100% certain about a level, I'll put it on there, and then sometimes they end up just dropping completely off the list. So I didn't even get time to set a breakout level on this one. This is the 4 p.m. close from yesterday. This level was only up 6.5%. That's a no-go. This level right here, it was only up 11.8%. And then this level up here, finally, was up 25%. So for HAO, we're going to put a horizontal line right across this candle. That was the breakout level, which was $5. Time the stock broke out, it never broke out. Previous close was $3.98. Market cap is between 1 to 10. Free float's below 1 million. And the stock is from China. So we're going to put China here. And then we're going to scroll over. We're going to put no breakout on this one. And then we got to put the time the level was set. The time the level was set was at 11 a.m. And also, too, by the way, what I have found are stocks that set their highs like this later on in the day, after 11 a.m., they're not going to break out before the end of my time frame, 12. Most of the stocks that are setting their level, actually after 10, from 10 all the way to 11, and 11 all the way to 12, of course, those stocks that set their levels during that time frame, most are not going to break out before 12. I don't count them as a breakout if they break out after 12. Just something that I've noticed, something for you to keep in mind. RPGL is up next. RPGL, that breakout level was up there at 2.757. 2.757. That one never went and broke out. Previous close is at $1.94, which means at that breakout level it was up 42% for the day. Market cap is between 10 to 50. Free float is also between 10 to 50 as well. And then for the country, we have Singapore. So it was from other. I have USA, China, Canada, and then other. So Singapore falls under the other category. We're going to put no breakout right here. Time the level was set. This 5-minute candle pulling back at 12 o'clock allowed me to establish that level, which is right at my cutoff time. I mean, honestly speaking, I could just delete that one off the list, but we'll go ahead and keep it on there because technically it does fall within the time frame. Just at the last minute, it said its breakout level. AGRZ. So this breakout, that's an old level up there. So the breakout level on this one was set early in pre-market. This one did a big pumping up at 7:55 a.m. in the morning. So the breakout level is at 0.3958. Time the stock broke out. This stock did go and break out at it broke out after 12. So I'm actually just going to delete this one off the list. I don't count any breakouts that happen after 12. I always step away from the charts. I can't reliably tell you that I could track every single breakout that happens after 12 because I'm not sitting here at the chart. And that means any stock that randomly makes a pop and then it just falls down, I wouldn't be able to track that one because I'm not sitting here at the charts. I do sit down at the charts all the way till 12, but I'm not sitting down all the way until 4 o'clock. I'm not living at this computer every day. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that one off the list there. Okay, so now at this point, what I have to do is start all the way back up here. And for every single stock that did break out for the day, I have to go and update did the second 5-minute candle close green and was the 1-minute candles trending green. And based off the 5-minute candle closes and the 1-minute candle closes, what it'll do, if any of these stocks are a specific setup that I look for based on the variables that I inputted, it'll take that and it'll put it into another sheet for me. So what I do once I've tracked all of this information, I go over to the other sheets where I track all of the other Greenlight Special setups, quickie setups, everything else that I track, and then I input all of that information. So I got another maybe 10, 20 minutes worth of work here, but this is how I sit down and this is what it looks like to track your setup every single day. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to comment down below. If it was valuable, let me know. And if you guys trade with over 10K and you want to live trade with me every single day, Monday through Friday, you're available from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. Then click that link down below and let's see if one-on-one is a good fit for you. I'll see you guys later. Peace.